Hey, what the heck is wrong with this cooking of yours, huh? You trying to get me sick or something? You can't expect me to eat this, right?
What are you mad about this time, Tom? What's the matter with the food that I made you?
What's wrong with it? About the fact that you're just serving me leftovers from last night. That's what's wrong. You really are such a lazy woman, do you know that? What is your deal?
Tom, I think that you'll just have to settle for eating leftovers today. I didn't have to wake up early and make you something fresh this morning, so that's what we have to eat. I thought that you hated when I pack you things that I've defrosted, right? So that's why I didn't do that and gave you leftovers of the dinner that I made the other night instead.
I don't think that's an excuse at all. You really think that you can just feed me slop like this?
I don't know what you want me to say. That's what was available for me to pack you for lunch, so that's what you're having. Do you have any idea how much work it is to pack your lunches for you every single day?
You really are a pain in my neck sometimes, you know that? Do you really not know how to pack something as simple as a lunch? The least that you could have done is made me something fresh to enjoy. I know that you can make things quickly, so don't try and tell me that it's too hard.
If you think that making fresh lunches every single morning is so easy, you are welcome to make your own then. But I am sick and tired of hearing you complain about my cooking all the time.
Well, I only complain about your cooking because I know that even I could do better than this. But your cooking, it's just pathetic.
I guess I'm sorry that you didn't like what I packed you for lunch then, Tom.
Really, you should have just tossed out all the leftovers that we had after dinner last night and made me something from scratch this morning.
You really think that I can just make a whole new fresh meal just like it's nothing every single morning? You think I want to spend the precious time that I have in the morning to get ready making a big mess in the kitchen that I'll have to clean up?
Oh, please, it's not that big of a deal. Besides, if you really wanted to, you could just clean it all up in the evening when you get back from work.
So you want me to clean up the kitchen only to have to immediately get it dirty again for dinner? Do you think it's easy being the only one that does any cooking at all around here? And it really doesn't help that if I'm late in making you anything, then you start yelling at me for being too slow.
Well, that's because it's called dinner time, for a reason. You ought to be serving the food on time, and you can always just clean up what you used to make dinner once we're finished eating. Honestly, why do I even have to explain all of this to you? Can't you just use your head a little?
Oh, I was just about to say the exact same thing to you, actually, Tom. And the reason I don't want to do that is because I hardly have any time to myself at night to begin with. You realize that I don't just do all the cooking, but I do all the cleaning and laundry around here too, right?
And you're just as terrible at doing that. Anyone else would be able to do a much better job of taking care of the house than you could.
And just what is that supposed to mean? You're talking all of this talk, but you've never done any work around the house.
I bet that other families never, ever have to put up with this kind of nonsense from the women in them. Really, I bet every other wife in the world is a good, obedient woman who knows how to properly take care of her man. And man, am I jealous of men who have wives that know how to cook. I wish that could be my life.
Tom, how can you say that? Do you really think that I just have nothing better to do than wait on you hand and foot? You know that I have a job, right? I am literally the head nurse at the hospital that I work at.
That's exactly what the problem is. You're so focused on your work that you're forgetting your wifely duties to your husband. You're always using being a nurse as an excuse. I thought being married meant that you would be taking care of me. But instead you're always talking about how you have to help the sick and injured. Ah! And that's to say nothing of our poor daughter who barely has her mother in her life.
What is that supposed to mean? Do you really think that Isabel barely has a mother in me?
I'm just saying that a good mother would be able to make a good home-cooked meal for every single meal of the day for her family. She'd be making delicious dinner, baking brownies, feeding her husband and kids snacks all the time.
Tom, can you honestly name a single family that actually works that way? I mean, I think that you're just making things up in your head because I've seen other families cooking, and I don't think that I'm that bad.
You really don't know what you're talking about at all. All I know is that I feel so sorry for our poor daughter who has to put up with your awful cooking. She even said as much about it to me.
Wait a second. You're really telling me that our daughter said she didn't like my cooking?
Of course! And she would know since you pack her lunch for her every single day as well. But you know that all the kids always make fun of her for what she brings to eat, right? And you know how cruel kids her age can be, don't ya? Do you get what you're putting your daughter through?
Well, Isabella's never said anything to me at all. You're the only one who complains about this.
I'm sure that she doesn't because she's just trying to be nice to you. But she complains to me about you all the time.
Well, great then. If that's the case, then you two can cook for yourselves. And then you can just cook whatever you want to eat instead.
You really think that's going to solve things? You still don't get how this is all your fault. Honestly, what kind of mother are you?
Just do whatever you want, Tom. I mean, I just don't have the energy to deal with this anymore.
You really just don't know anything at all. I'm just trying to point out that you're the one in the wrong here, and you can't handle the criticism. I knew that you were useless, but this really is just too much. I mean, how are you such a horrible cook?
What do you want this time? What is this all about?
What do you think this is about? It's about the awful slop that you're always trying to push on me. I mean, why are you incapable of cooking anything better than this? Honestly, it's like you don't even want me to enjoy my lunch at all.
What could possibly be wrong with your lunch this time? What is wrong with it, huh?
Well, first of all, it just looks horrible. There's no care into the plating or presentation at all. And that's enough to make me not want to eat it. Not only that, but these eggs just look horribly overcooked. Do you really expect me to eat this and not puke?
So you're complaining about the way the food looks? Have you even taken a bite of it at all?
I don't have to take a bite to know how bad this is going to be for me. I just know that it's going to be absolutely disgusting. I'm embarrassed to have even brought this into work with me.
Well, I hope that you're happy with all that you've said, because now you've gone and made Isabel cry.
What are you talking about? Why in the world would the things that I've been saying to you be making our daughter cry? That don't make any sense at all.
It would be making our daughter cry because she was the one who made it for you. Do you get it now? I didn't cook your lunch. It was your own daughter who got up early in the morning and thought it would be nice to make you something good to take to lunch.
But I mean, I don't get it. Why would she do that? Why would Isabel do something like that? It's always you who makes the lunches. So why did she do it this time?
Well, apparently there are quite a few kids at her school who are getting into cooking right now. So I thought that it would be fun to try her hand at it and make you something to take for lunch. After all, it's not like you would ever cook something for yourself, and I was sick of your complaining about my cooking, so I left it to her.
But why didn't you tell me this? I should have known about this. Why didn't you say to me that Isabel made my lunch today? I would never have said any of the things about her cooking if I'd known that it wasn't you who made it.
Actually, if you really want to know, it was Isabel who told me to keep it a secret from you. She said that she wanted it to be a surprise and that she wanted to know your reaction when you ate it.
You mean that our daughter was just trying to surprise me by making my lunch today?
That's right. In fact, she was going to text you after lunch to ask about how you enjoyed eating her cooking. But I doubt she ever thought that you would react the way that you did just now.
This can't be true. Why didn't you tell me any of this before? I have a right to know whose cooking it is that I'm eating.
I just told you that she asked me not to say anything at all. Besides, you were the one who didn't even bother trying the food in the first place. You just said that it looked so nasty that you knew it would taste just as bad, and then you threw it out.
But I only did that because I didn't know that Isabel made it. You should have told me about all of this beforehand.
Why should I have done that? What difference would it have made, really?
It would have made a difference to Isabel if I didn't say all those things about the food that she packed me for lunch.
Yes, that's true, but you're the one who said those things in the first place. After all, if it was really just my cooking that you didn't like, then you should have been able to tell the difference when someone else made you something to eat. But I think that this just proves you just have fun throwing away the food that I cook you and trying to put me down for it.
Well, that's not fair. You can't compare your cooking to Isabel's. She's just a girl and doesn't know how to cook in general. I mean, it's only natural that a little girl like her wouldn't be good at cooking at all.
Okay, so then basically you're saying that our daughter did a bad job with your lunch? At least now you're actually being honest about all of this, but if I can be frank with you, I thought that she did a great job with it. She even packed it with a bunch of things that she knew you would have enjoyed eating.
But, I mean, how did she even find out that I was saying all these things about her cooking in the first place? Why would you tell her all of that?
I didn't tell or show her anything. She was just so excited for your reaction when I said that you were talking about her cooking. She snatched my phone right out of my hands because she wanted to read what you were saying, and then she instantly burst into tears and ran into her room crying.
But that's not fair. This is just all one big mistake. Don't you get it? You tricked me. This isn't fair at all.
I really don't see how it would be a mistake at all. I mean, you said so yourself, that you think a kid like Isabel is incapable of making something tasty for you. Of course, I never once thought about our daughter at all.
No. You did this on purpose. You knew that I would react this way. You were just trying to turn my own daughter against me. How could you do this to your family? You're sick.
Maybe you should stop trying to come up with excuses for why this happened and just apologize to her instead.
I've tried that. I've been sending her messages trying to explain that this is all one big mistake, and she isn't answering me at all. I think she might have me on mute. Or worse, what if this caused Isabel to block my number entirely?
Yeah, I mean, you really upset her with all these cruel things that you said, so I really wouldn't put that past her at all.
But this isn't fair. Why is she mad at me over this? I mean, I don't even know if it was really good or not, since I never really had a chance to taste it in the first place.
Well, then it sounds like the only person who made the mistake here is you. I mean, you didn't even bother tasting the food. You judged it entirely on how it looked, and then you threw it away without taking a single bite. If you're wondering why it is that our daughter might be mad at you, I suggest you think about all the actions you took prior to that happening.
But, I mean, what is she even mad about? Surely she must understand that this is all just one big misunderstanding, right? How can she blame me when I didn't even know she was the one who cooked it?
I think she blames you because she read the part where you just threw out all of the food that she worked so hard to cook for you without so much as even tasting it. She worked really, really hard on making something that she thought you would like, and you didn't even give it a shot at all. And you know how sensitive our sweet little girl is. You really, really hurt her feelings over this.
Oh, come on. I still think that she's taken this all way too far. I mean, I was only saying my opinion about it because I thought that you were the one that cooked it.
Well, that much is quite clear, but I really didn't think that she was expecting you to say all the horrible things about her cooking that you did. You really didn't have to go that far in all of the insults that you had ready to go about the food that you hadn't even and refused to taste. So it makes complete sense to me why Isabel would be so upset about the way you handled her hard work.
But, I mean, come on, you know that I would have never said what I did. I was tricked by you. Please, you have to give your phone to Isabel so that I can talk to her and explain what a mistake all of this is.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that, and I don't think Isabel wants that to happen either. I think talking to you and hearing all the excuses that you might come up with would only upset her more, to be perfectly honest with you.
Please, Mary. You have to do this for me. I'm her father. Just tell her that I'm gonna buy her favorite dessert on the way home and that I can't wait to see her and make up for this.
You really think that you're going to be getting out of this that easily?
Mary, are you there? Has Isabel finally come back home?
Oh yes, she's finally come back home and we're eating dinner right now.
Wait, you two are eating dinner right now? Isn't that a little early for you both?
Well, neither of us really felt like eating dinner with you at all.
You didn't want to eat dinner with me? I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense at all. Why wouldn't the two of you want to eat dinner with me?
Because we want to just have dinner, take a shower, and get ready for bed, and not have to see you or talk to you for a single second right before we turn in for the night. Neither of us want anything to do with you at all. Don't you understand that already?
Oh, come on. Are you really trying to tell me that Isabel is still this upset over a few days ago? I mean, I know that she still has my number blocked, but I just want to talk to her. She can't ignore me like this forever.
And why shouldn't she? You were the one who thought that you could fix all of this by buying her some cupcakes.
But, I mean, I was only trying to make up with her. Is that really so bad? I know how much she likes the cupcakes from that one shop, and that's why I went there. But every night that I've come home, I see that they're still just sitting there, untouched in the fridge.
Oh, well, don't worry about them. We've eaten them all now. I was actually planning on throwing them all away, but Mary said that would be an insult to the bakers, and so we had them.
But then, if you ate the cupcakes, then that must mean that you forgive me for what I did, right?
You really think that you could just buy your way out of this? You didn't even tell her that you were sorry.
But that's not fair. She won't even talk to me. I doubt that she's even reading my messages at this point. I haven't even had the chance to tell her that I'm sorry.
We all live in the same house. There are ways that you can apologize to her, but you only want to do things your way. Honestly, you're just pathetic. Do you have any idea how disappointed your daughter is in you?
But how could this be happening? This isn't how things were supposed to go at all.
Well, it is how things went, and things went this way because of you. She worked so hard on that lunch and was so excited for you to try her cooking, only for you to throw it all away.
Why are you taking her side in this? Why didn't you try and help me reach out to her? You could be doing more for me, you know.
Why should I bother doing anything for you at all? All you do is insult me, and now it's all come back to haunt you. You think that I'm going to raise a single finger for you at all?
Please. I'll do anything I can to fix this. I'm sorry that I don't know how, but I'll do anything. You want me to clean up around the house? Done. Cook the meals? You got it. I can't live like this any longer.
You would really do all of that? After that, Tom did as he promised and started to do all the chores around the house to try and make up for how he treated Isabel. He even stopped complaining about my cooking in an attempt to win me over to his side. But Isabel wouldn't budge and refused to talk to her father at all. She also never cooked for him again, but would surprise me with things that she had baked. Tom could only sit and watch as his daughter completely ignored him. After I thought he had suffered enough, I finally sat down to talk to Isabel about how hard Tom was working to try and make things up. She still didn't want to forgive him, but I suggest that we all seek professional help from a family counselor. There, we were able to vent our frustrations to Tom in a safe environment. While he was able to express just how crushed he was when he realized how badly he had hurt his daughter. Although Isabel and Tom are on better footing, I still am really only staying with my husband until our daughter becomes an adult. But at least until then, I'll always have the leverage to make Tom put in his fair share of effort around the house when he starts to get out of line. In the meantime, I just hope that Isabel is able to grow up with a better relationship with her father than had I not stepped in to help him. But personally, I'm ready to get on with my life without Tom around me anymore. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.